Good morning, and welcome to the Late to Work podcast. I'm your host, Parker, and thank you so much for joining. Happy Tuesday, and I am on time to work. How's your morning going? Hope you're doing good. I like to hear when my listeners are doing well. And today, we've announced the first monthly winner for podcast submissions, which is Claire. Thank you so much, Claire, for your submission, and I hope you enjoy your Starbucks gift card. If you want to win that Starbucks monthly gift card raffle, then just submit your voice recording of a story or some crazy visionary idea you have and record on your phone, submit it to latetoworkpodcast@gmail.com, and you will be entered if you're chosen. So I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say. Let's dive right into today's podcast, where we are going to start off with Joey. And Joey has submitted to this podcast before, but he has something else to say. So Joey, take it away.
Hey Parker, hope you're doing well. Thank you for having me on. I wanted to tell you this unlikely story involving my cat. So my family has a cat named Kitty. We're not very creative with the name, so its name is Kitty. But anyways, Kitty's an outdoor cat, and in early June of this year, Kitty was outside during a thunderstorm. And Kitty never came back. We didn't really know why. The days turned to weeks, and we figured that Kitty was dead. We figured that Kitty was hit by a car or something, or there were coyotes in the area. We thought maybe Kitty was gone. Actually, we didn't. We really thought Kitty was gone. And one of the reasons is because before, Kitty has come back from some really strange and precarious situations. Like one time, we gave Kitty to a friend for a couple of weeks. That was a plan to just kind of plop him in another house for a little bit. And he didn't like that. And so he actually ran away from that house and came back to ours from miles away. He found his way back. He was just on our deck one day meowing. And so we came down in the morning and we're like, what are you doing here? You don't live here right now. What's happening? So we thought that if Kitty wanted to come back and was able to, then he would have. And so we thought you must have been dead or something like that. So flash forward 6 weeks, about basically a month and a half, somebody knocks on our door and they're holding a cat. We open it and they go, "Hi, is this your cat?" And we're like, "Yes, that's Kitty." The guy was holding our cat. So we came back into our house and he lives with us again. It was the weirdest thing. Turns out our cat was in another neighborhood, kind of far away. Not very though. Just chilling, just having a good time, living outdoors. He was being taken care of by some neighborhood kids. He had lost a lot of weight. He had a couple scratches on him. His meow was really hoarse. But yeah, so our cat is back with us now. I just wanted to let you know that crazy thing happened, that after 6 entire weeks of living outdoors, our cat had survived and is now back living with us.
And we're back. Thank you, Joey, so much for submitting. You're always welcome to submit again. You always have good content. Today we're going to talk about cars. And earlier I talked about how I needed a new car because my car broke down. And so I've been looking for cars. And in the meantime, I was driving a friend's car. But finally found a car that I can use. It is a Honda Accord. And I love it. It's super nice. It's got a leather interior. And I think this car will last a long time. That's the goal. So I want this to last well after college. I hate four-way stops. Not my thing. I'm at one now and it works when it works, but when people hesitate, it just sucks. So anyway, new car, drives great. It's a lot quieter than my other car, so these podcasts should turn out a lot better. The whole buying process of this car was really interesting. It was an older guy, and he was selling it for his wife, so he didn't know everything about the car, but he knew most of the stuff, and there's little things that he just kept forgetting. Like, he sent us to the wrong address for the bank. He said he had done business with that bank like 20 years ago, but like it hasn't been a bank for like a long time apparently. So it's just sort of a funny thing where we showed up and we're like, all right, this is not a bank, but like whatever. So we called him, we're like, hey, we're going to this other bank. So he was like, sorry. So we went to that other bank, got the check ready and stuff, and then he showed up like 10 minutes late. And we're like, hey, how's it going? He's like, hey, sorry I'm late. I looked for you, but we couldn't find you. We're like, oh, this is strange. But we kept on going. We gave him the check. He's like, cool, we got the title, we got everything. except for the car. And we were standing there for an awkward, like, 2 seconds or 3, and my dad's like, oh, the keys, where are the keys? And he's like, yeah, about that. And we were thinking, like, is this a joke? Like, what do you mean? And he's like, well, yeah, so I don't have the car here with me at the bank. We're like, what do you mean you don't have, like, we came here to buy a car? And he's like, well, I wasn't sure. I just wasn't sure how you wanted to do it. I didn't know if you could drive a car without plates. It's at my house. And we're like, what kind of deal is this? What do you mean? Like, you don't have the car? Like, we just paid you for this car. So he's like, how about I drive home in my other car and then bring the car back here, and then you guys can go to the Secretary of State and get it registered. And we wouldn't have done it with anybody else. He was like, we already kind of knew him before this, so it wasn't super strange. But, like, we wouldn't do that with, like, if it was someone younger or, like, if we didn't know them really well. But we kind of knew him, so we were like, okay, we know where he lives. We have his address. Like, so he went back and he got the car and then brought it back. But it was just a little nerve-wracking. It was a really funny experience. He was a really nice guy, and I think he was very genuine. And I think he just doesn't sell cars very often and just didn't really think through the process. But it kind of freaked us out for a second. Like, oh, did we just get robbed? But we didn't. So we got the car. Car's amazing. And everything went through smoothly after all. Thank you so much for listening to the Late to Work podcast. Hope you're having a great Tuesday. Hope you have a great rest of your Tuesday. And I will catch you this Thursday. See you later.